Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and I hope you are doing very well. In today's video we are going to discuss the OOPS interview questions. So in this video we are going to take the major important questions that you can expect in your interview, as OOPS questions are majorly asked in all the interviews, MNCs interviews and even the product based companies interviews. So if you do not know how to answer them, this video is going to be helpful for you. So make sure to watch the video till end, as there are going to be multiple parts for it. Before starting, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we regularly upload off-campus drives as well as placement related videos on our channel. We have created several playlists related to interview experience of different companies and related to different topics. So if you have not checked that, please make sure to check that too. Let's start with today's video. So let's start with our first question. Our first question is basic. What is OOPS? So first of all, how can you answer this question? Programmers can use objects to represent real world circumstances thanks to object oriented programming. Any entity with states and behavior is an object. While methods define an item's behaviors, states reflect the characteristics or data of an entity. Objects include students, workers, books, etc. By exchanging messages, these things communicate with one another. A class is also a template for building an object. A class is required in order to generate objects. For instance, there needs to be an employee class in order to generate an employee object. Moving ahead to the next question, difference between procedural programming and OOPS, that is object oriented programming. So procedural programming is based on functions, whereas OOPS is based on real world objects. It shows the data to the entire program. It encapsulates the data. It does not have a scope for code reuse. It provides more scope for code reuse. It follows the concept of top-down programming, whereas OOPS follows the concept of bottom-up programming paradigm. The nature of language is complicated, that is procedural programming language is complicated, whereas OOPS is less complicated in nature, so it is easier to modify, extend and maintain. Procedural programming is hard to modify, extend and maintain the code. Moving ahead to the next question, why use OOPS? So procedural programming with OOPS lets you package together data sets, states and functionality to change those data states while keeping the specific secret. Consider the analogy of a car. You can see the steering of the car while driving. The circuitry behind it is hidden from you. As a result, OOPS design produces flexible, modular and abstract code. Because of this, it is very helpful for developing larger programs. Using classes and objects, you may include OOP into your code. The objects you construct will have the states and capabilities of the class to which they belong. So this answer covers the main importance of using OOPS. So some of the concepts which you are going to see in further, like abstraction, polymorphism, all of those concepts are dealt here and discussed in this small answer, that they provide the advantage for OOPS. Moving ahead to the next question, what are the basic concepts of OOPS? So the basic concepts of OOPS are inheritance, encapsulation, polymorphism and abstraction. Moving ahead to the next question, what is encapsulation? Very important question asked in major of the interviews. In object-oriented programming, encapsulation is defined as the binding of data and functions that alter its encapsulation, means that a class variables or data are hidden from other classes and can only be accessed through member functions of the class in which they are declared. Consider the following situation. There are various divisions in a corporation such as accounts, finance, sales and so on. The finance department's job is to maintain track of all financial information and transactions. Similarly, it is the responsibility of sales department to maintain the track of sales related activity. Let's pretend that a finance department official requests sales statistics for a given month. He cannot directly access the data in the sales area in this circumstance, because only a sales department official has the access to the data. He must be contacted in that case. Who must be contacted? The sales department officer. Encapsulation is depicted here by the process of requesting sales representatives for the data. The data from the sales department as well as the personnel who can affect it are grouped under the heading sales section. So this is a real life example of encapsulation, that a company has different accounts, right? Finance account, sales account. Now a person from finance account wants to access the data of sales account, then in that case he cannot directly access that data. He need to contact someone from the sales department. Moving ahead to the next question. What is abstraction? It gives only the most important elements while keeping the rest hidden. It gives only the most important elements while keeping the rest hidden. Data abstraction is the process of revealing only the most significant aspects of a data set to the outside world while keeping the implementation details hidden. Consider a situation of man driving a car. The man only knows that pressing the accelerator increases the vehicle's speed and that applying the brakes stops it. But he has no understanding of how the speed is increased or how the accelerators, brakes and other controls are implemented in the car. This is how abstraction is defined. So, when a person drives a car, he only knows the parts of it which are important for him, like brakes, accelerator and all those things, but he do not know the insights or the working behind that, how they are connected, what is the wiring and all. We are not concerned about that. Why? Because we only need to have the data that is significant to us. So that is what the abstraction does. It only displays the important concepts and whereas hides the other. Moving ahead to the next question. What is method overloading? There is a concept where two or more methods can have the same name, but they should have different parameters, different numbers of parameters, different types, or both. These methods are known as overload methods, and this feature is called as method overloading. Moving ahead to the next question. Method overriding. Method overriding is a concept of object-oriented programming. It is a language feature that allows a subclass or child class to provide a specific implementation of a method which is already provided by one of its superclass or parent class. Moving ahead to the next question. Types of inheritance in OOPS. So there are different types of inheritance in OOPS, such as single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multi-path inheritance, hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. So these are some of the types of inheritance in OOPS. Moving ahead to the next question, which is what are the main features of OOPS? The main features of OOPS are, in OOPS you combine the code into the one unit, so you can specify the parameters of each piece of data. The process of wrapping up data into a single unit is called as encapsulation. By using classes, you generalize your object types and makes your application easier to use. This is termed as abstraction. So we have seen two concepts till now, that is encapsulation and abstraction. The next is the ability for a class to inherit characteristics and behaviors from another class allows for more code reuse, and this can also be called as inheritance. Okay, so this thing is for inheritance. Polymorphism allows for the creation of several objects from a single adaptable class of code. So these are some of the main important features of OOPS, which are encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance and polymorphism. Moving ahead to the next question. Is it possible to call the base class method without creating an instance? Yes, we can possibly call the base class method without creating an instance in the following three cases. If the method is static, calling the inherited method inside a derived class, calling the method using the base keyword from the subclass. The most popular case is that of the static methods. Moving ahead to the next question. What are the limitations of object-oriented programming? So the limitations are: size exceeds that of other program. It took a lot of work to make and it runs more slowly than other programs. It is inappropriate for certain types of issues. It takes some getting used to. So in order to use it, you need to have some practice for it. Moving ahead to the next question. What are constructors? The constructors has same name as that of class. A constructor is a special kind of method. It is used to initialize objects of the class. Moving ahead to the next question. What are different types of constructors? So the different types of constructors are private constructor, default constructor, copy constructor, static constructor and parameterized constructor. Moving ahead with our next question. What is the difference between a class and a structure? Class is basically a user-defined blueprint from which objects are created. It consists of methods that are formed on objects. The structure is also a user-defined collection of variables. Structures are used for different data types. A user-defined class serves layout or blueprint from which objects can be built. In essence, a class is made up of fields known as attributes and methods known as member functions that define actions. A structure is a grouping of variables or various data kinds under one heading. So with this, we have come to end of this video. If you have any doubts related to any question, you can ask in the comment section. If you want to see more videos related to this topic, then please check the playlist section of our channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to receive all the regular updates. Thanks and all the best.